Welcome back, everyone, to the Natalie Tysdal Podcast. I'm Natalie. In this episode, I'm going to sit down with Stephanie Crassweller, an international speaker and expert health and nutrition coach and host of the Metabolism and Menopause Podcast. Stephanie brings a wealth of experience, holding a master's degree and numerous certifications in nutrition coaching, functional health, personal training, and exercise therapy. She has done it all. Stephanie and I talk about the complexities of women's metabolism, especially surrounding perimenopause and menopause. We're going to explore why metabolism changes as we age and the profound impact that stress can have on our bodies, and why simply eating less and moving more isn't the answer for most women. Stephanie breaks down key hormonal differences between men and women. She offers some very practical advice for supporting your metabolism, and she shares simple, actionable steps to start feeling healthier and more energized today. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by changes in your energy, your weight, or just your overall well-being as you've gotten older, or maybe you've wondered, like I have, why your husband seems to lose weight so much easier, this conversation is going to help you understand what's really going on beneath the surface. So get ready to walk away with some real strategies to nourish your body, manage your stress, and build routines that actually fit your life. I'm excited about today and really happy also to offer you some free resources to help you and your health. Go to Natalie Tysdal, that's NATALIETYSDAL.com/resources. That's natalietysdal.com/resources for a whole list of guides and downloads that I know you'll find helpful in your health journey. Thanks for being here today. I'm so glad that you're paying attention to your health because my mission is to help you feel better. Let's get started. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Well, I think we have audiences that are very similar. We're women who are trying to feel healthier, have more energy, manage that weight, and figure out this metabolism complex. What is it about the metabolism for women that is different? And how can we learn enough to really control it and figure out how to keep it going?
Well, I think the biggest thing to understand is that how many calories your body is going to burn is going to be dependent on a ton of different things, like your past dieting history, your hormones, the type of exercise that you do, your sleep, digestion, inflammation, your thyroid, your gut health, your liver, your blood sugar, and all of those things are widely changing a lot during perimenopause and menopause when we start seeing these hormonal fluctuations as young as 35, proceeds way past your 50s, your 60s, right? Everything starts to change. And also we have to understand all the stress that we've experienced, because stress is going to be one of the biggest factors when we're looking at where is your body right now? How is it responding to things? Can it use food for energy, or is it using food and storing it as fat? We need to understand how well our body can actually utilize things. And it's not just eat less, move more, because, most women wouldn't be listening to this if that was the answer, right? We need to really understand how our bodies function and change as our hormones change. And, we're an accumulation of everything that we've done up until this point. And people don't realize that. Everything that we have been through is going to impact how our body is today.
What is the biggest factor in metabolism? You mentioned stress, and I don't think we often relate our stress level, our work, our family life, our relationships to our metabolism going up and down. Is it that big of a factor?
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the biggest ones, to be completely honest. Because we know with your stress levels, your cortisol is going to actually control literally everything in your body. Your cortisol is going to make it so if cortisol is dysregulated or it's really high all the time, we're going to see your hormone production decreases. We're going to see your blood sugar get worse. We're going to see your thyroid function slow down, your gut health get worse, more inflammation, worse energy, harder time building muscle mass. All of those things make it a lot harder for our body to lose weight and a lot easier for our body to gain weight. And the thing that we don't realize is many of us are like, oh, it's normal. I'm used to it. I don't feel that stressed, or it used to be way worse before. But we don't realize that when we're on, that's a stress. So when I go and speak at events or I'm at a networking event, my Aura ring, which I love, will show me that I've been high stress.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll show me high stress for 12 hours, even though I feel so fulfilled and I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. And I love it and I enjoy it, but it is taxing on your body because you are giving. You are giving and you are on. And how many women, that's our role, right? We're teachers, we're CEOs, we're nurses, we're stay-at-home moms. We are everything to everyone. We are always on. And we never take time to actually slow down, to focus on breathing a little bit slower, on bringing our heart rate down, on actually filling up our cup. We all think that going and doing some crazy exercise is like self-care. And while exercise is good, it still requires a lot of energy. And we never take time to actually slow down. And what happens is when our hormones start to decline, our stress tolerance decreases. So before we could have a 9 out of 10 out of stress, like it would take the dog pooping on the floor, someone asking us what's for dinner, being go, 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 skipping our meal, running on coffee, being stressed with taking care of sick parents and having grief or trauma from our past, all of these things. And then we would need, something on top of that to experience this high cortisol and all the negative things that I talked about. Now it only takes a 5 out of 10 because estrogen and progesterone aren't there to buffer the stress like it used to. So now it only takes a 5 out of 10 for everything to kind of fall apart. It's almost like we have this giant dinner plate of stress, and then we haven't taken any stress off, but that dinner plate turns into a side salad plate. So now it can't hold everything, right? And we're like, but I haven't changed anything. I don't understand why things are going wrong. And it's like, you haven't outwardly changed anything, but internally things have changed. And if we've spent a long time dieting, our body already can't handle that stress tolerance. Our metabolism has already slowed down. And so now we see this weight gain and we push harder. We cut calories more, we cut carbs more, we do more exercise. We're getting up early and sacrificing sleep to work out, right? We're skipping all the carbs, all those things. And that just adds more and more stress. And so you're pushing when all you got to do is open the door and pull it open instead of trying to push, 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 push.
Okay, so we've listed a lot of things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just a natural part of life, right? What do we do to fix it?
Yeah, so this is like where doing things that seem so insignificant can make a massive difference. So, before you're switching tasks, before you go have your lunch, set a timer for 2 minutes and take slow, deep breaths. You'd be like, is that really going to help? Yes, I show it on my Aura Ring all the time. I'll be in that stress zone, and after 5 minutes, it'll drop down to like relax because you're allowing your heart rate to come down, your breathing rate to come down. You come out of that fight or flight state. But the other thing that is massive is eating enough food, because if you're not eating enough food, that is a stress on your body. And that is one of the biggest stressors. And for many of us, we've been under eating for a very long time. We don't have our breakfast. We don't have our carbs. And so what happens is we don't have enough energy to meet, being on all the time. And so now when we're not, getting enough food in, we're also not sleeping because we're stuck in this fight or flight state. If you think about it, say there was a zombie apocalypse, you're probably not going to sleep that well at night. Your body's going to keep you half awake. As if you truly fall asleep, there's danger of you, getting eaten by a zombie, right? It's kind of that same thing. We're never allowing our body to actually fully recover because it's always in this stress state because we're under eating so much. And this is something that we see in women all of the time, where we're under eating for so long and then we'll have this crazy binge, which ends up being a big stress on our body, right? This up and down, this inconsistency, and it's a lot for our bodies to handle. And so being able to control the environment in that aspect makes a very, very big difference. And if your body will even respond to, being able to lose weight, because for a lot of people, we're stuck in this fight or flight state.
Yeah.
It doesn't want,
it's
stuck,
everything,
it's
right?
keeping holding on to everything because it doesn't trust that you're going to get enough. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about the notion though? Because I've read and I hear often a little bit of stress is good for the body. You talked about recently on your podcast, saunas, right? And how that's stress on your body or pushing yourself a little more than you normally do. Is that spiking cortisol, or should we try to stress ourselves out a little bit?
So it's understanding how much of a stress is a good stress, right? Can your body tolerate? Because if you're already at a very high stress, that's going to tip you over. And if we're in this state where, we're pushing really hard with HIIT workouts, or we're doing saunas and we are a person who's very stressed out, or our body can't support that, what ends up happening is that stress is now bad stress. Doesn't matter if it's an attempt to work out, doesn't mean if it's an attempt to, hop in a sauna, those kinds of things in hoping that it'll improve your health. You have to understand, can your body even handle that? Because any stress on top of it is not going to be a good stress, right? And then what we see is this increase in inflammation. We see an increase in damage, increased demand on your body even more. And if you're already someone who's struggling with sleep, if you're already someone who's struggling to put on muscle mass, even though you're working out really well, even though you're, eating well and you're still having energy crashes, those are all signs your body is pretty stressed out. And we probably need to pull back on some things and give you more fuel, which seems so backwards and is so scary, right? You want me to move less and eat more? That's so backwards from everything that I've heard. But this is how we heal the body, creating an environment where it can actually thrive. Because right now we're just in this place of go, 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 go all of the time. We have to be productive. Like, when's the last time you went for a walk without AirPods in? You know, when's the last time you drove without music on in your car? Like, we're so stimulated all of the time.
It's kind of that old adage though, like you can't build a house without a good foundation.
No.
Right? You got to create that calm foundation so that you can make a difference and get your metabolism back where you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the difference in a female metabolism and, like, say we're trying to do this alongside our husband or someone else, and we're frustrated because they're still doing really well and we're not? What's the difference in our metabolisms?
A big one there is hormones. So I was talking with a doctor that I was mentoring under, and he was like, you know, men and testosterone is just like a drum. You know, as long as the beat is there, they're good. They're happy. Their body can respond to things. It's great. Women, it's like a symphony. It's like an orchestra, right? And so everything has to be so finely tuned and work together and build up together and come down together. And there's just like all of this finessing. It's a lot more complicated than just beating a drum, right? And so when we're looking at the hormones of men, they can tolerate stress way more easily than we can. They can build muscle mass way more easily than we can. Their body can handle
they can't
that
multitask.
more. No, most cannot.
Let's be real.
But like their bodies will respond well, right? Like it takes a lot more stress to take them down. So it's like, you know, they stop drinking beer and all of a sudden they're down how many pounds, right? They go for their walks and they're seeing stuff. And for us, it's like, we're eating so clean and we're working so hard and somehow I gained 5 pounds and now I'm not sleeping. Like, what's happening, right? And so this is where understanding like where you are hormonally and the stress your body can tolerate really dictates everything. Because when we're in this state of like low hormones, high stress, we're seeing blood sugar issues, higher inflammation, all those things block your fat burning pathways. It'll push you into that storage state. And that tells your body constantly, we have enough, let's store. We don't want that signal, right? Because if our body is being told we have enough, let's store, even though you're fasting and cutting calories and cutting carbs and doing exercise and eating clean and getting your protein, like, that's really frustrating because you are doing technically all the things right, but there's things that are blocking that fat burning pathway and sending that signal of we have enough, let's store. And we typically see this really hit during perimenopause and menopause. And it's because estrogen is, I always like to talk to her as like, she's like the mom of the house. You know, she gets the groceries, she cooks, she cleans, she does the laundry, like packs the kids' lunches. And if mom goes down, the house is in disarray. It's like all of a sudden now, the house is a mess. There's dishes in the sink. There are now clothes with mildew in the washing machine. Like, it's a disaster, right? And so is it mom's fault? No. The whole household hasn't been working together, but she's been really masking everything of how inefficient everything has been. So when she goes down, it's like, holy crap. Like, this is not good. And it's the same thing when estrogen starts to decline, when progesterone starts to decline. They play so many important roles in our body that, you know, what we could get away with before, we had issues going on for a very long time. The inflammation, eating in a way that wasn't great for blood sugar, living in a high stress lifestyle, doing things that weren't great for our thyroid, our gut health, all of these things. And we had no idea because estrogen is amazing. She is like the super mom, you know, the mom that everyone's like, oh man, like I wish I was, you know, the mom that you go to like the soccer game, you're like, you secretly kind of hate her because she just like has everything together and like, yeah, exactly. So that's estrogen for us. Yeah. So when she goes down, it exposes what's already been happening. So we're like, dang you, estrogen, when really it's like, thank you. I need to make sure my team, my household is working as a team instead of relying on one single player, right? Which is what many of us have done for a very long time.
Okay, so this begs the question then, at what age is mama estrogen, as you just talked about, struggling? And how do you work with people? How do you advise? What do we do? Like, I didn't know that was estrogen. I just thought I was like stressed. What do you do? Do you lead people to a specific test? Do you lead them to the doctor to go get that tested? If someone listening now is like, oh, maybe estrogen's my problem, but how do I know that?
Yeah. And so like, this is where a lot of people will jump to HRT, right? Because HRT we know has great benefits. Tons. But we need to know, is your body in a place where it can actually use estrogen? It can actually break down the HRT, absorb it, use it, get rid of it. Otherwise, you're going to end up more inflamed. You're going to feel like crap. I have a podcast coming on this right away, actually, about like how to prepare your body for HRT, because a lot of people think they'll take it and all their problems will go away. And for some people, Yes. But for a lot of people, no. But no one talks about it because they feel like embarrassed. They're like, oh, there's something wrong with my body. It's like, no, we just got to make sure your body's in a better place, right? So you can do the HRT, right? We do Dutch testing with all of our clients. And we do this so that we can see what their stress response is, because that will tell us a lot as to, it shows us
what
24
is Dutch
hour.
testing?
So it's a Dutch hormone test. It's a urine sample test. So it's 24 hours and it'll show us different metabolites and show you actually what your body favors. So it'll show you how good is your body at creating cortisol? How good is it at breaking it down? Because if it's not good at breaking it down, then we got some problems there that can tell us potentially some liver stuff. We'll look at it shows you so many things. It'll show us your progesterone, your estrogen, your testosterone, your androgens, some key like inflammatory type markers. It'll give us some like indication of, oh, we probably have some inflammation we need to work on. Liver detoxification. It'll show us some like neurotransmitters in your brain. So serotonin, if you're struggling with like anxiety or feeling joy, a lot of this stuff can have to do with more hormone based as opposed to, needing to take an antidepressant per se. Like some women, that's not the problem. It's something else, right? And so it also shows us what your body favors in terms of times of stress, what it's favoring to build and not build, what things are kind of clogged. Because sometimes we see things, overflow or there's imbalances. And is it because our body's producing too much? Is it because it can't break it down? Is it because it can't flush it out? So it gives us a really good understanding of what's actually happening internally in your body. And then we also do just like health assessments that we do some different types of surveys and stuff like that, where we're analyzing where their stressors are, like type of gut health issues they might be having, so we can do further testing if we need to. But it really shows us like, okay, if we're struggling with these things and estrogen declining is exposing it, what's causing the more inflammation? What's causing the blood sugar issue? What's causing the low thyroid? Because low thyroid is very rarely actually like the thyroid is a problem. Usually there's too much stress. So our body isn't sending the signal to the thyroid to produce it, or our body can't convert T4 to T3 because there's too much inflammation, or maybe we have blood sugar issues, or maybe it's the stress response again, right? Maybe it's something to do with our gut health. So there's lots of things that we need to look at to see, okay, estrogen was like masking it, but what was she masking? Like why are things falling apart? Because those things are still going to be happening regardless if you take HRT or not. So we need to, address your health at the root, because otherwise these things are still happening under the surface. And that's not good, right? We want to make sure that we are figuring out and addressing, how do we stop this? Why is this happening? And I think that's where we don't ask the right questions a lot in healthcare, unfortunately. Like I left healthcare for that reason, because it just wasn't, you weren't asking the right questions. And, we're not just a lab waiting for a number to what a range to give you a pill. It's how can we be proactive? Why is this happening? Because the pills don't fix why it's happening, right? So we need to figure out why it's happening.
And often creating more problems.
Yep. And then you're taking pills for other side effects because of the side effects of another one. And it's a whole, I don't want to take a medical cocktail before every meal. Like that's not what I want.
Yeah. But for a lot of women, everything you're saying, I get it, as I live in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm even more overwhelmed. Like what? You're talking about a test and then my hormones and estrogen. I just want to feel good. Like at what point do you say, I need a routine to start with? Like for someone listening and they're overwhelmed by everything you're saying, where do you start? What can we give them to say, it's okay, today do this?
Yes. So the first thing that I always like to tell people is to have your breakfast. There's a lot of like trends on fasting and stuff right now, and they can be helpful if you use it at the right time for the right length of time, but people use it as a lifestyle. And a lot of people, because they're so stressed out and they're dealing with hormone things, fasting can make things worse for you, right? So I always love to tell women, start with breakfast within 90 minutes of waking. Make sure there's 30 grams of protein in there, include some carbohydrates. And then at your meals, to make sure that you're eating most of your protein and veggies first before dipping into your carbs. Those are two things that are going to help your stress response so much, your blood sugar so much, your energy so much. Like it's going to have this cascading effect where now you feel good and it's easier to want to go for a walk. You'll find it's easier to go to sleep. You'll be able to stay asleep, like better quality sleep. Yeah. Those two things alone are massive. And then I also like to tell people to watch out for their like quote unquote health foods, because so many of us rely on protein powders and protein bars. We look at, keto breads and low carb wraps, and those are ultra processed foods. Like you have to include that as if it is an ultra processed food, just like you would say a chocolate bar, right? Just because it has more protein doesn't mean it's not ultra processed. And there's lots of like fibers in there that are fake, lots of sugar, alcohols. And for lots of us, because we're already in an inflammatory state because of estrogen going down and everything we're going through, it can actually make things worse. We just did a challenge that was 4 weeks that people cut out those things. And people were like, oh my gosh, my gut feels so much better. But they didn't realize that 50% of their protein choices in a day were these ultra processed items. And so those 3 things alone can do wonders for your health, like wonders. And once you start feeling better and you don't have the brain fog, things feel less overwhelming. You can take the next steps, and it's just such a good place to start.
It's so true. For me, it's, I always tell women, like, shop the perimeter of the grocery store for a couple of weeks. That's a great challenge too. Like, just do that and see how much better you feel. Stay away from everything in the middle, right? You get your fresh fruits and vegetables, you get your meats, and then you get your dairy. Just nothing in a can, nothing in a bag. Just see how you feel after a couple of weeks. But people don't realize that.
Yeah. And it takes a little bit more. It takes a little bit more work, right? And a lot of people will say like, oh, like this is so hard. Like I've never struggled with my weight before, right? We have some people who have struggled with their weight their entire life. And then we have some that have never struggled before. And it's going to feel like a lot because you're learning something new. Like if you had to learn a brand new language, it would take so much effort. It would take a lot of concentration. Like any little distraction will like make it feel overwhelming, right? You have to view it as building a new skill and practicing because nutritional literacy does take time to build up, right? We can't just go on intuitive eating because that doesn't work for a lot of women because, our hormones are dictating when we're hungry and sending us the wrong signals at the wrong time, or not telling us we're hungry because we're too stressed out, or the types of foods that we eat, there's too much there. And so it just takes time to learn these things, and you have to be willing to dedicate some time to it, which sucks because we want it to be super simple and to be super quick, right? But it does take time to learn a new skill.
Yeah. But if you set yourself up for that success by meal prepping or, if I have those things in front of me or in my refrigerator, then I'm not going to go for the protein bar that I still do sometimes, but I'm not going to go for it because, hey, it's easy to grab those things I bought, but it's setting yourself up for that success.
Totally. It takes planning, right? And people think meal planning, like there's so much resistance against it because people have had such a bad experience of weighing everything out and putting it in these little containers and labeling it Monday and Tuesday. And I'm like, I have never done that. I will never do that, right? It's as simple as looking at your calendar. What do I have coming up this week in the evenings or days that are busier? What can I make to make sure that I'm, have things for those days? Because when you pre-decide, because at the end of the day, when you have had a busy day or you're go, and someone asks you what's for dinner, you're like frustrated and it's just one more decision you have to make. If you have those pre-decided, oh my gosh, it makes life so much easier. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like cook up some extra chicken thighs and some extra broccoli and rice one day, or, cook up some extra chicken so you can make quesadillas or toss them in a wrap. Like just try and plan a little bit ahead. It doesn't have to be perfect, but having some options there that then you can build off of. Oh my gosh, it takes so much stress off of you. It's such a relief because it's one less decision to make when you're in that chaotic time, which, let's face it, happens a lot more often than we like to admit.
And someone gave me this advice. We do it every week. Just have some routines. You don't have, my husband's like, I don't care if you make the same thing every week. He's not demanding. We put that pressure on ourselves to come up with new recipes and have variety. But we do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. That Tuesdays are so easy for me. So easy for me. But then double the recipe so you can use that meat the next day for something else. But actually, our routine is Sunday steak night, easy because my husband does it. And then extra steak so we can do fajitas on Monday. And then we do Taco Tuesday, which doesn't always have to be beef. So that's easy off my plate. So I've got 3 days that I don't have to think. It's easy. It's the rest of the week where I'm like, oh, now I'm out of things. But the routine of every week takes decisions, which is stress and cortisol, takes part of that off your plate.
Yeah, and then you just get variety from like the veggies, because like protein will be pretty consistent, right? But like, so it's like, okay, I need to get some variety because variety in your nutrition is important, right? But okay, this week I'm just choosing different fruit. Like this week we're doing raspberries and mangoes. The following week we'll do like strawberries and kiwis or whatever it might be. Like it doesn't have to be super complicated. Or maybe the variety is switching the kind of nuts that you're having. You're having walnuts one week, the next week you're having pecans. Maybe it's the kind of like, veggies that you're using. Maybe the salad has mostly like romaine and arugula, and the following week it's spinach and something else. Like we overcomplicate it so much. It's what can I do to change it? Like have like your staple veggies and fruit for each week and just rotate it. Super simple. But we are all like, we think that the meals have to be this big extravagant thing and they have to take up so much time. It's like, no. Cook up some protein that you can toss in a bowl. You can toss in a wrap. You can toss in a sandwich or a salad. Like you have so many options, many options.
Yeah. That's kind of been my motto this year is simplification. Like just simplify it. It's fine. And I think I built myself up to be this, like I'm really creative and I can be really good in the kitchen. It's like, I just need to be simple.
Yep. Yeah. And then like same with
lot.
starches, right? Like some days you might have like sweet potato for a bowl or on the side of your meal. Maybe it'll be rice. Maybe it'll be quinoa. Like we really do just way overcomplicate it. And people are like, oh, how do you get more protein? And I'm like, okay, so instead of having 2 ounces of chicken on your plate, just add 3. And they're like, oh, yeah, like don't worry about adding in more of like different variety. Add just more of what you're already eating. Like it's super simple. Like don't make it more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the great information. We started talking about metabolism. We went to a lot of other things, but it all then comes back to your metabolism is going to be better. You're going to feel better if you do all these things. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I will put everything in the show notes, but anything else on where people can find you?
Yes, you can follow us on the Metabolism and Menopause Podcast. We have podcasts on certain hormones. We have different imbalances. We talk about scale fluctuations, HRT, all the things that you ever have questions on. And then you can also follow me on social media. So on Instagram, I'm at vitalityoet.stephanie.
Wonderful, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you.